Well known among fellow nursery and landscape professionals as a tried and true tree expert, Bob Byrnes' far-reaching contribution to the industry spanned 5 decades. A visionary who sought to improve upon the status quo in tree growing, Bob experimented with new growing techniques, modern equipment, the newest root-producing pots, different soils, and slow-release fertilizers. Bob employed many of these cutting-edge techniques at Trail Ridge Nursery, which he owned and operated for 4 decades, located in Keystone Heights. In fact, it was at this nursery where Bob pioneered mist propagation on his trees, at a time when most trees were grown from seed with extremely non-uniform results. This innovation allowed for the selection and propagation of superior local strains. Described by his peers as modest and hardworking, logical and intelligent, Bob inspired others as he has been a lifetime learner, regularly employing scientific reasoning to learn how to grow more effectively.
It's a great industry, but you better love it if you're going to get into it, because it's also time-consuming, it's very rewarding.
Bob's horticulture skill stems back to the University of Florida, where he graduated with a horticulture degree in 1965, yet his entry into the industry was delayed due to the Vietnam War. Ever the patriotic leader, Bob enlisted as a commissioned officer in the Marine Corps, serving as a helicopter pilot in combat. Following his military service, Bob returned to the University of Florida in 1972, earning a master's degree in horticulture. After graduating, and along with fellow Vietnam veteran and classmate Dave Stoner, Bob started Turkey Oak Nursery in Archer, Florida, where they concentrated on growing trees from seeds. Recognizing the importance of seed provenance, the pair collected propagative material from the best stock they could find locally to achieve greater uniformity. Bob soon emerged as a pioneer in rooting deciduous and evergreen trees. He also mastered production of cultivars such as Weaver dogwood and Florida flame maple, and popularized them in the trade. Bob perfected grafting techniques and air layering for extremely difficult to root trees, enabling greater production of once rare trees.
When I was first starting in the nursery business, I worked at Garden Gate Nursery in Gainesville, and I was encouraged to participate in FNGLA activities. And we had meetings at the different local nurseries, and one of the nurseries we visited was Turkey Oak Nursery, where Bob and his partner started growing trees back in the 1970s, and that's how I met him. Very impressed by the fact that his nursery specialized in just growing trees, and they were starting from seeds, and then later on they learned how to grow them from cuttings, and was pioneering at that time to grow trees from cuttings. That way they could have clones that were true genetically to the parent trees.
Never one to keep his knowledge and experience on propagating and growing trees to himself, Bob spoke at many educational events throughout the years, including the Menninger Flowering Tree Conference.
Bob and I worked together on the Menninger Flowering Tree Conference. Former FNGLA President Jack Siebenthaler was our leader. It was our passion to encourage more flowering trees, the use of more flowering trees in Florida.
Bob also served FNGLA, which successfully lobbied the state of Florida to get out of the tree seedling business so independent growers would no longer be forced to compete with the State Forestry Service.
It's very interesting to watch it from when we started in the early 70s. Some of the issues, containers, soils, all the things that have evolved as far as production, and I think it's a natural industry. It'll always be here. I mean, it's kind of a common area for people, even politically. People politically that don't agree with each other, they all like plants. They all like trees. So it's kind of a common ground for people to get together and just enjoy what the Lord has given us.
Another pet project of Bob's has been to support Gainesville's Kanapaha Botanical Gardens through donations of trees and labor. Bob is also a founding member of the garden's main fundraiser, the Spring Garden Festival. In fact, for years, Bob helped plan the event, set up tents, fetch tables and chairs, worked on booth layout, assisted with the auction, and even directed traffic.
And he would be the person behind the scenes that went and got all the chairs, the tables, set up the stage, set up the tents. And he never wanted any sort of recognition for what he did. He's just a wonderful person, very supportive of the industry, and never is in the spotlight. And he deserves to be in the spotlight, and that's why we're honoring him tonight.
Bob's service to both FNGLA's frontrunners and Northeast chapters has been steadfast going back decades. One of the founding members of FNGLA's frontrunners chapter, Bob served in many chapter leadership positions, including president and state board representative. On many occasions, Trail Ridge Nursery hosted chapter meetings with legendary fish fries and educational tours of the nursery, and Bob brought together FNGLA's Northeast and frontrunners chapters for joint meetings which have since become a cherished annual tradition.
Bob, thanks for being such a great horticulturist, such a great lover of trees, and such a great friend.
Bob, for your selfless giving to Florida's nursery and landscape industry, and for all you've done to advance the collective knowledge and professionalism of this great industry, FNGLA proudly inducts you into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations and thank you, Bob!